to the Mind Shift Movement Podcast with your host, Alan Johnson. On this podcast, Alan will be sharing with you empowering, effective, and actionable knowledge within the health, fitness, and mindset space to help you make the progress and growth that you desire from your life so you'll become the very best version of you, physically, mentally, and emotionally. So now, get ready to dive into today's episode.
Hey everyone, welcome to this episode of the Mind Shift Movement. And on this episode, I'm going to be speaking about a cool conversation I've had with a friend recently. But before I go into the episode, I would like you please to take a screenshot on whichever podcast platform you are listening to this podcast on. Take a screenshot, share it on your social stories, your Facebook stories, your Instagram stories. Tag me on Instagram. It is AJ Fit Mind Coaching. Okay, this really helps more of your friends and family see what you're listening to, and it helps them get introduced to the podcast as well. And I really appreciate it, guys. So recently I had a really cool conversation with my friend basically, and his boss he got invited to the Family Lockdown Fitness group, which is on Facebook. Okay, if you're not already a part of that group, come and join the community. We have over 4,100 people within that community now. And it's always growing each week. We share lots of different stuff within the group, like workouts, meal plans, morning routine PDFs, motivation, inspiration, Facebook Live, so all sorts of stuff. So if you're not in that group already, please join. And basically, this guy got added in, and he's been watching my content recently. So, I'd never have met this person if it wasn't for social media, if it wasn't for my friend adding them into the group. And basically, this guy has been tuning into my live content within the group and also just my daily social media posts as well. And it was really cool feedback. You know, he says that he's inspired. He admires me for what I do and how I'm trying to help people on a day-to-day basis around the family life. You know, it can be busy sometimes. So it's really cool feedback, and I know that people are always watching. Okay, people are always watching. It's not about the likes and the comments. Okay, we have so many secret followers. Most of our followers that are watching us and tuning into what we're getting up to on a day-to-day basis are secret. You know, they'll never like any post, they'll never comment on anything, but they're watching, okay, and they're getting inspired, and you're making them, potentially feel good about themselves and about what they're getting up to as well. So, now what I really liked about this guy as well, it sounds like he's a successful businessman as well that expresses admiration for what I get up to, and that's really awesome to hear. You know, it's really great to hear, and this is just one of few stories that I hear on a weekly or monthly basis. You know, people regularly reach out to me to say how something's positively impacted them, and also sometimes I get a bit of negative feedback as well, and that's cool. I'm more than open to negative feedback as long as it's constructive and not aggressive, and that's absolutely fine. You know, so you've got to take the rough with the smooth. Positive feedback's just as good as negative, and that's absolutely fine. So the purpose of this episode and this Facebook Live isn't to brag about me getting positive feedback. It's to help you remember that, there's always people out there that are following your journey. Okay, there's always people out there that are being inspired and maybe motivated, but I've done podcasts before. My views on motivation, I really think it's a short-term thing. And people are being inspired by your movements, basically. So if you are someone that does regularly put out positive content there, out into the universe, onto social media, on whatever platforms you're on, then just keep doing it. And I know it can be hard sometimes. We'll go through challenges, we'll go through battles and struggles. Life can be really bloody hard. Especially with everything that's going on at the moment with COVID and lockdowns. I know people are struggling more than ever. And this is a time where we all need to work as a team, and we all need to come together and support each other and continue, sharing as much positivity as we can, because people need us more than ever right now. Okay, and the positivity you are putting out into the universe will be heard. It's going to be heard by someone. Okay, and as I've said already, that person might not ever like anything. They might not comment on anything, but one day you might get a message from them, and they'll be like, "Do you know what? Thanks so much for doing what you're doing. Trying to help people, sharing your own journey, and it will really massively impact others. Never give up on being you and spreading your own positive messages out there. Because there'll be always someone that's getting inspired, and you'll be helping other people take that positive action that they want to take, and they just need that extra push that might come from one of your posts one day, to help get them moving. And you never know who might need to see or hear what you're sharing right now as well, because there's going to be people out there that are struggling maybe a lot more than what you are right now. And they need you to keep showing up as your best, which is going to make you feel better about yourself and your life and your progress as well. Okay, because if you keep showing up consistently, your own progress is going to be fantastic. It's going to be better than ever. Okay, so this is really going to help positively impact other people, guys. Okay, so that is it from this episode. Please, if you haven't already, subscribe to the podcast. Okay, leave a 5-star rating if you feel it worthy, guys, and please leave a short review on Apple Podcasts. I know this is the easiest way to leave a review. And that is it from me. Thank you so much for tuning in. I really appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next episode, guys and girls. Take care.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Mind Shift Movement Podcast with Alan Johnson. Make sure you join Alan's free Facebook community group, the Mind Shift Movement Podcast Community. Please support the show by clicking subscribe on your favorite podcast platform. Share this episode with at least one friend that would benefit from it, and share the episode on your social media stories. Please go and leave us a 5-star review to help us reach out to more potential listeners, and we really look forward to bringing you the next episode.